Hello. So, dear students, today we are going to deal with the subject that is management concepts and organizational behavior. I, Dr. Priya Raj Batolia, Assistant Professor, Bora Institute of Management Sciences, will deal with the topic that is meaning and types of group behavior. Individually, we are a drop. Together, we make an ocean. So, dear students, you should know the importance of togetherness. So, let us start with the topics to be discussed in this video. Today, we will deal with the introduction, the concept, definition, features, functions, types, advantages and disadvantages of group behavior. It is rightly said that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So, that is the importance of group. So, students, every manager must possess the knowledge of group behavior along with the individual behavior. The manager is the one who should feel the importance of group behavior. He should also understand the individual behavior in terms of his group. He must understand group psychology, which is very important. If you overcome or if you oversee, you supervise a particular group, you should know their psychology of working together in a group. He should understand the individual behavior in context of group behavior. He should also understand that individual behavior is somewhere influenced by the group behavior. यहाँ पर मैनेजर को ये समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि if an individual behaves in a particular set of pattern, what is the reason behind his behavior? It is obviously the group with which he is working. So, before studying the individual behavior, he should feel the importance of group behavior too. Let us see the concept of group behavior. In group behavior, we have two terms. First is group and second is behavior. What is group? The group can be defined as two or more interacting and interdependent individuals who come together to achieve a particular objective. A group is a particular set of pattern in which two or more than two people come together. Obviously, they should be interacting, they should be interdependent on each other to achieve a particular goal or objective. Now, what is behavior? Behavior is anything a person does that can be observed in some ways or it can be noticed. It includes his or her feelings, attitudes, thoughts and mental process. So, behavior is all about your particular feeling, your attitude or your thought process, whatever an individual or a group reciprocates. Now, what is group behavior all about? Group behavior is the attitude, thought and feeling of a collection of a people that can be observed or noticed. So, somewhere the group behavior is a combination of all the feelings, attitudes or emotions which the people share together being a group. It is guided by some rules and regulations which may or may not be with the individual. So, here somewhere the group needs to follow the certain pattern, certain rules and regulations which every member is responsible for. So, before understanding a particular individual, you need to focus on the group behavior, and group behavior is very crucial part for a manager. So, we have discussed the two terms group as well as behavior and combinedly the pattern or the definition of group behavior. Let us see in detail the definition of group. A group comprises of two or more persons who interact with one another in such a manner that each person influences and is influenced by each other person. ग्रुप क्या है? ग्रुप एक ऐसी चीज़ है जहाँ पर आपको दो या दो से ज़्यादा लोग नज़र आएंगे एंड ऑब्वियसली वहाँ पर कोई एक पर्सन किसी से इन्फ्लुएंस हो सकता है या वो किसी को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकता है। ये पैटर्न ऑफ बिहेवियर अगर आपको नज़र आता है तो उसे ग्रुप कहा जाता है। सेकेंड डेफिनेशन इज द ग्रुप में बी डिफाइंड एज अ सोशल फिनोमिनन इन विच two or more persons decide to interact with one another, share common ideology and perceive themselves as a part of group. In second definition, it has been stated that group is a social phenomenon and जो भी लोग उस ग्रुप का पार्ट हैं, हिस्सा हैं, वो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ कॉमन चीज़ें शेयर करते हैं, कॉमन आइडियाज़, कॉमन बिलीव्स शेयर करते हैं एंड साथ ही वो सारे लोग एक दूसरे को उस ग्रुप का हिस्सा मानते हैं। दे परसीव देम एज अ पार्ट ऑफ ग्रुप विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड ऑब्वियसली दे शुड हैव अ कॉमन ऑब्जेक्टिव, अ कॉमन गोल। Let's discuss the features of group. The first point is a group should have a sense of we feeling. अगर वहाँ पर we ये feeling dominate करती है तो that group can work very effectively. Second, they should have a common interest. If the group works together for a common interest, for a common objective, their efficiency would automatically increase. They will work in a proper coordination and the things will be on a positive note. Point number 3, they should have a stable structure. Here stable structure means they should maintain the stable relationship. If there is stable relationship among the group members, they'll respect each other's feelings, thoughts and somewhere a result comes out to be in a miracle form. So here the stable structure is very important. Point number 4, interdependency. The group members are interdependent on each other. To achieve common objectives or goals, somewhere they need to divide the work and in the division of work, they needs to complete their work on their part as well as they needs to support each other completing their work and the overall performance results in achieving the objective. So, interdependency is there in the group members. Face to face interaction. In group, there should be face to face interaction that helps to understand each other's feelings, emotions as well as if some problems or challenges arises, they can help each other on their behalf. So, face to face interaction is important in group behavior. 2 or more persons. The group should include more than 2 people and the basic structure of group is it should have 2 or more people, then it is defined as a group. The group should have the social interaction. The members should meet each other. They should try and share some quality time with each other so that they can understand each other. They can understand the working pattern, the behavior pattern of each other, which helps them to work effectively in the group as an individual member and as the overall group. And lastly, they should perceive themselves as a part of group. Somewhere the group should perceive themselves as a part because it helps them to share the feelings and they feel that they are one of the member of the group. They feel that kind of respect, they feel that kind of belongingness and each member should feel the other member as the part of group. So, these are some of the features of group. Discussing the functions of group. Now, let us see the first point. Groups helps to work in complex and independent tasks. Somewhere if the task is very complex or the decision is very crucial, groups help to complete that task very easily. Because in groups you can see many people come together with their ideas, with their opinions, with their alternatives and even the complex situation can be solved with the help of group decision making. It also helps to generate new ideas and creative solutions to solve problem. Group members have different abilities in their respective areas. So, coming on to solving a problem, they can have certain new ideas and each member can provide a creative solution to certain problem. They also serve as a coordinating function. Here each member work very hard on his part, as well as he helps the other person to complete his work if there are certain problems and challenges. So, there is a need of coordinating function. It also helps in implementing complex decision. The decision on part of an individual is somewhat difficult, but when the decision is taken on a group level, the complex problem can be solved very easily because there are n number of alternatives, the opinions and the suggestions of each member differ, and you can have a broad perspective of that problem, which automatically helps you to support making a good decision on a complex problem. And lastly, it serves as a vehicle of training new employees. In a group, when some new member or a new fresher join, the other members have the responsibility to teach and to make them learn the things which is already existing in their organization. So, here the older members help the new members to learn certain things in which they feel low or they are not efficient at that point. So, it somewhere helps in the training of the new employees. Now, there are types of group. So, let's discuss the types of group in detail. We have two types of group. One is formal group, the other is informal group. The formal group is basically formed by the organization. It is the organizational structure which has been formed to achieve a particular set of objective. It is been formed by the organization itself. Whereas on the other hand, informal groups are those groups which are formed to fulfill their social needs. The structure can differ according to likings and dislikings of the member. So, broadly there are two types of groups. First is formal, which is formed by the organization to achieve certain objectives. Second is informal, which is formed to fulfill their social needs. Now, let us discuss the formal groups. The formal groups have three types. Number one is command group, number two is task group, and number three is functional group. Now, what is command group? Command group is the group which is composed of the subordinates and supervisors. Here subordinates needs to directly report to the supervisor and hence it is a command group. For example, the group of the principal and teachers, here teacher needs to directly report to his principals for the work he or she has to perform. The second is the task group. The task group consists of the group of people who work together to achieve a common task. Here task group can be formed for a limited time period and to complete a particular objective. The examples of task group can be the project team, the quality circle or the audit team. This team is formed to complete a particular project, complete a particular task for a limited time period. It may even dissolve after the work is accomplished. The third is the functional group. It is created by the organization to accomplish specific goals within a unspecified time frame. Again, this is formed by the organization to achieve certain goals, but it remains in existence even after the goal is being achieved, like the marketing team, the accountant team or somewhere the customer service team or department. These departments are formed by the organization to complete a specific task and it remains in the same structure on the overall basis. So, these are the three types of formal groups. Now, let us discuss the informal groups. Informal groups consist of three types. The first is interest group, friendship group and reference group. Interest group is a group that usually continues over time and may last longer than general informal groups. Now, interest group is basically that groups in which the people share common interest, like yoga group, or somewhere you can see kitty parties organized by ladies. So, this is somewhere the interest group. Second is the friendship group. These are formed by the members who enjoy similar social activities, political beliefs, religious values and other common bonds. Here friendship group में जो लोग हैं, जो members हैं, somewhere they have the social activities in together, political discussions they can have together, even some religious values or some common bonds between them. So, that is about the friendship group. Now, last is the reference group. This is a type of group that people use to evaluate themselves. Example में आप discuss कर सकते हैं your family, your friends, your relatives. This is the example of reference group. So, here we have discussed three types of informal groups. First is interest group, that is based on your interest area. Second is the friendship group, which is based on their social activities, political activities or certain religious values, and the reference group is the group where you can evaluate yourself and you want to somewhere belong to that particular set of group, that is your family, your friends as well as your relatives. Why do people join group? That is more important. Everyone wants to be in a group. We being a social animal wants people around ourselves. So, there are certain reasons why people join group. The first reason is safety and security and safety. Somewhere the people wants to join the group because they need security, they needs to be feel strengthened. If a person belongs to a group, he feels the security as well as he feels united, he feels the strength while working together. So, that can be a reason why people wants to be in a group. The second is the status or recognition. An individual wants to be recognized in the group which he belongs. So, somewhere groups provides him a particular set of status as well as recognition as the member of a group. The people also wants to join group because of self-esteem. Self-esteem is the belief that a person has about himself, what he thinks about himself or herself, how much importance he pays to his thoughts, his decisions, how seriously he feels about his attitudes and beliefs. So, the reason of self-esteem is also there for joining a group. Some people join groups for affiliation, the need for affiliation. Affiliation is a sense of involvement or the sense of belongingness. For example, if the company wants to introduce a new product and an employee comes with a new idea related to the product, he wants everyone to listen his ideas and somewhere he wants that everyone should pay attention to his suggestions and his ideas. So, here the employee wants the need of affiliation from the other members of the group. Next is the power. People join groups to gain certain power, position, and with the help of that group, he can overcome all his problems when he achieves power. People also join groups to achieve or attain certain objectives. The group is formed to attain or achieve certain goals, and when they work together, all the problems and challenges can be solved which cannot be dealt with an individual while working alone. And finally, huddling. Huddling is all about getting together, being in crowd together or having an informal get together. So, people enjoy being a group to be in a social get togethers, they enjoy sharing their beliefs, their values, their thoughts. Somewhere they enjoy a quality time being together and that refreshes their mental as well as physical tensions and stress. So, these are the reasons where people wants to join group. It can be security, status, self-esteem, affiliation, power, goal achievement and huddling. Let's see the disadvantages of group behavior. Now let's discuss them one by one. Here the first is pooling of knowledge and information. When we work in group, people come with various expertise area, with various ideas. So here when you work in group, you can share the knowledge and information with other people. Some people may be experienced in that area, so being a fresher or being an individual, you can learn lot many things from the person with an experience. So here there is a pooling or sharing of knowledge and information. Number 2, satisfaction and commitment. When you work in group, individually you perform better, you get the help of the other members, and somewhere you feel satisfied and committed. When you are in a group, you have a feeling of belongingness, you share some ideas, you share some common interest, and that will help you to motivate, which will hence to increase your satisfaction level. Third is the personal development. On an individual level, on an individual behalf, you may lack somewhere in the particular area, but when you work in group, you can develop those skills with the help of other group members. The members also help each other to solve the problems. So, on a participatory approach, each other can help them informally as well as informal ways, and which results in personal development. And finally, more risk taking. जब आप ग्रुप में होते हैं तो रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटी ऑटोमेटिकली बढ़ जाती है. जब आपको इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे डिसीजंस लेने होंगे तो समवेयर यू फील इट्स मोर रिस्की, बट व्हेन यू आर इन अ ग्रुप you come up with certain ideas and suggestions, the efficiency or the decision making of the group improves. Here you have an ability to take more risk, because commonly when you decide something, the risk factor is also divided among the individual, and hence it results in more risk taking. The last is the disadvantages of group. अब ग्रुप में रहने के कुछ फ़ायदे हैं तो कुछ नुकसान भी हैं. So number 1 is time consuming and costly. When you are in group, you need to have suggestions from different people, you need to respect their ideas, you need to hold meetings, conferences, and somewhat paperwork is also required while decision making. So you can find that working in group is time consuming and costly. On the other side, if you work individually, the decisions are very quick and you can work in a better sense. So it is time consuming. Second is individual domination. When you work in group, you can feel that a particular person can have a domination on a particular group. The reason behind is he can have a good experience in that area, or he might have qualification, or due to his age factor, he may influence the other member of the group. So somewhere you can feel an individual domination while working in a group. The other disadvantage can be the problem of responsibility. When you work in group, every person has the same responsibility, but when the results are true, when the results are on positive basis, everyone will feel responsible. But on the other side, when the results are negative, no one is there to take the responsibility. So this is the disadvantage while you work in group. ग्रुप में काम करते समय जब भी कोई चीज़ें नेगेटिव नोट पे जाती है तो कोई भी जिम्मेदारी लेने के लिए तैयार नहीं होता है. नेक्स्ट इज ग्रुप थिंक. ग्रुप थिंक इज बेसिकली अबाउट प्रेशर नॉट टू डिसएग्री विद अदर मेंबर्स ऑफ द ग्रुप. जब आप ग्रुप में काम करते हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं एक प्रेशर होता है कि आपको दूसरों की बात से हमेशा एग्री करना है. यू कैन नॉट पुट योर ओन थॉट्स और फीलिंग्स. यहाँ पर डिसीजन कितना अच्छा है वो इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं होता है, बट स्टिल कोई कुछ कह रहा है उसको रिस्पेक्ट करने के लिए यू नीड टू एग्री फॉर दैट इज़ अ ग्रुप थिंक. समवेयर on being pressurized, you need to agree with other thoughts and ideas which actually you do not like on individual level. And lastly, dependency. In group, you can see there is dependency. When you need to complete a particular work, you need to get dependent on the other work. Like in a company, if people are working in various departments, production, purchasing, marketing, accountant, Related to the dispatch of a particular good, all the departments needs to work together, and finally the product will be dispatched. So, if one department fails in a particular section, the overall working pattern will be damaged. So, here the dependency on group members is also there. So, these are the disadvantages of groups: time consuming and costly, individual domination, problem of responsibility, groupthink and dependency. Before concluding the group behavior, we should discuss some few terminologies related to group behavior. Like, first is group dynamics. What is group dynamics? Group dynamics refers to the interaction of forces between group members in the social situation. So, group dynamics should be understood. It is a type of interaction of forces. जब भी आप कोई social interaction करते हैं, so it works as a force that needs to be there between the members of the group. We can also discuss what is group norms. Group norms tells us the rule that how an individual needs to behave when he is in a group. This is a set pattern or rule which needs to be strictly followed when you are in group. So, we have discussed about what is group dynamics all about, what is group norms all about, and in the disadvantages we have even discussed what is group think in the concept of group behavior. Let us discuss some importance of group behavior. When you work in group, you feel that there is a security and confidence. When you work in group, you have security as well as you feel confident, because here the work is divided and you share your responsibilities with other people. Somewhere you feel to be very creative, because in another words, when you come up with group, you share some creative ideas and everyone has a certain thought process. So, you can be more creative when you work in group. Third is the better decisions. When you work in group, you can make a better decisions, because individually somewhere you lack that risk taking ability, but being in group you share that responsibility, you have ideas, so it helps in the better decision making. It also increases your commitment level. Being a group, people feel more satisfied, more committed. They control their members. In group members, when you work together, you can even control each other's activities. And lastly, it offsets large organization. Groups helps to provide success if the organization is very large. So, dear students, today we have discussed what is group behavior all about. Along with that, we have also discussed the types of groups. We have discussed there are two types of group. First is formal, other is informal. In formal, we have seen functional group, command group and task group. In informal group, you have seen the interest group, the friendship group and the reference group. So, students, this is very important to study the group behavior if you are the head of the organization or you are the manager in the organization. The group behavior provides a certain set of pattern to study an individual behavior. So, I think you must be clear with the concept of group behavior and its importance. So, thank you students, have a nice day.